Assalamualaikum and hi. We are from Group H. Today, we would like to present about hydroelectric power plant for PMKU 4763 Renewable Energy System. Our lecturer is Professor Madya IR, Dr. Muhammad Afzanizam bin Muhammad Rosli, and this is our group member. This is our content structure for today's presentation. First, introduction of hydroelectric power plant and the energy policy. Second, current trend in Malaysia and the issues. Third, challenges and the statistic of hydropower plant and fact figure with references. Okay, what is hydroelectric power plant? Hydroelectric means generating electricity using the energy from moving or falling water. In a hydroelectric power plant, water flows through turbines, turning them to produce electricity. This energy is renewable because it comes from the natural water cycle. Hydropower is the biggest source of renewable electricity in Malaysia, providing 83% of renewable energy and 16% of the country's total electricity. Malaysia has a huge hydropower potential of 123,000 gigawatt-hour per year, thanks to its heavy rainfall and large rivers. Hydropower development started in the early 20th century with projects like the Chandra Dam and Cameron Highlands contributing to the national grid. Both large dams and small hydropower systems are being used, with small systems helping to provide electricity in remote areas. The government promotes hydropower through initiatives like the Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy, which is SCORE, and encourage private investment. While clean and renewable hydropower can impact the environment and local community. Next is energy policy. Energy policy is an plan or set of rules made by governments or organizations to manage how energy is produced, used, and sold. It focuses on using energy efficiently, protecting the environment, and ensuring stable energy supply. It may encourage using clean energy sources like wind and solar, reduce pollution, and support new energy technologies. The goal is to make sure energy is available, affordable, and sustainable for the future. First, diversification of energy sources. It focuses on reducing reliance on fossil fuels by promoting renewable energy sources like hydropower, solar, and biomass. Renewable energy target aim to increase renewable energy capacity in Malaysia energy mix with specific goals under the Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy project. Feed-in tariff (FIT) system launched in 2011 to promote renewable energy investment, allowing renewable energy producers to sell electricity to the national grid at a fixed rate. Small Renewable Energy Program (SREP) encourages small-scale renewable energy projects, particularly hydropower, with generating capacities up to 10 MW. Fiscal incentives: 100% income tax exemption for renewable energy projects for 10 years. Investment tax allowance for renewable energy infrastructure development. Import duty exemptions on renewable energy equipment. Sustainable Energy Development Authority (SEDA), government body responsible for administering the feed-in tariff mechanism and managing renewable energy development. Rural electrification focused policies aim to electrify remote and rural areas, particularly in East Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, through small hydropower and other renewable sources. Lastly, environmental and social impact management. Energy policies include provisions for conducting environmental and social impact assessments for large-scale hydropower projects.
Okay, next I will explain about current trend of hydroelectric power plant in Malaysia. Okay, as we know that since 2013, Malaysia has witnessed a steady increase in hydropower capacity with notable growth attributed to major projects led by utility companies like Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) in Peninsular Malaysia, Sarawak, Energy Berhad (SEB) in Sarawak, and Sabah Electricity Berhad (SESB). Okay, in recent years, the trend in hydropower development has been heavily aligned with Malaysia's commitment to a sustainable energy future. Large-scale hydropower projects such as the Bakun Hydroelectric Dam and the Murum Dam in Sarawak have continued to dominate the landscape, supplying significant electricity to both domestic and industrial sector. However, the focus is now shifting towards smaller scale, decentralized hydropower system. These include mini hydro and micro hydro installations aimed at powering rural and remote areas, particularly in Sabah and Sarawak. Such projects often develop in collaboration with local communities, help provide sustainable and reliable energy access while minimizing environmental and social impacts. This shift reflects a broader move towards decentralized energy system that prioritize equitable access and environmental preservation. Technological advancements are also reshaping the hydropower industry in Malaysia. The integrations of smart grid technologies and digital monitoring system is enhancing the efficiency and reliability of hydroelectric plant. Real-time data predictive maintenance tools are being employed to optimize power generation and reduce operational costs. Additionally, innovations in turbine design are enabling better energy generations from low head and variable flow rivers, which opens new opportunities for expanding hydroelectric projects in regions where a large-scale dams are not feasible. Pump storage hydropower systems are also gaining attention, with projects like the Hulu Terengganu Dam incorporating such technology to store energy during off-peak hours and release it during peak demand. This not only supports grid stability but also complements the intermittent nature of other renewable energy sources like solar, wind, which are increasingly integrated into Malaysia's energy mix. Despite this advancement, challenges remain, particularly in addressing the environmental and social impacts of hydropower projects. Deforestation, biodiversity loss, and the displacement of indigenous communities are ongoing concerns, especially with large-scale dams. As a result, regulatory frameworks are being strengthened to ensure the environmental impacts assessment and social engagement process are rigorously followed. The trend towards smaller scale and community-driven hydropower projects also reflect a response to the challenge, as they typically involve lower environmental and social risks.
In this video, I will explain the issue of the turbine hydropower plant. The first issue is the initial cost of installing a hydro turbine in power plant. The construction of hydroelectric plants, including the installation of turbines, require a significant investment. This includes costs for materials, labor, and expertise of experienced engineers. For the second issue is location and weather independence. The location is very crucial because the site must have a consistent adequate water source, such as river or large stream, with the necessary flow and head. Weather dependence is also another critical factor. The seasonal variation in precipitation can affect water availability. For instance, during dry season or droughts, water level may drop, reducing the power output of the hydro turbine. Meanwhile, during periods of heavy rainfall, there can be excess of water, which might require careful management to prevent flooding and ensure the safety of construction. For the third issue is environmental impact. The construction of dams and reservoirs can disrupt their ecosystem, fish migration, and aquatic habitat. By constructing dams and reservoirs can lead to the flooding of large areas, which disrupts the local ecosystem and displaces wildlife and human communities. The alteration of natural water flow affects high migration patterns and can lead to decline in fish population. Additionally, changes in water temperature also can harm aquatic life. For the last issue is for a hydro turbine to operate efficiently, the site must have sufficient water flow and head. What is water flow? Water flow refers to the volume of water moving through the turbine per unit of time, typically measured in cubic meter per second. A consistent and adequate flow is essential to generate a stable amount of electricity. What is head? Head is the vertical distance the water fall before hitting the turbine. It is measured in meter. The relationship is the greater the head, the more potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, which drives the turbine.
I will be presenting the challenges that come with using hydroelectric as an alternative renewable energy source. So, generally in Malaysia, our clean energy market is still considered to be at its infancy and is underdeveloped. So, although our government has taken numerous measures to improve our energy market, our clean energy market, there's still a lot of challenges and barriers that we face. And the first one is lack of funding. So, hydroelectric power plants or hydroelectric energy power projects in general are harder to implement because conventional investors, prefer to invest in large-scale hydro projects instead of small ones. The next challenge is lack of participation from private sectors. So these private sectors include project developers, and project developers usually would prefer multi-purpose projects compared to simple power supply projects. Which means although that there are already a lot of projects that are approved by the government, these projects cannot be conducted due to the lack of participation from these developers. The third challenge that we face is insufficient technical facilities. So hydroelectric power plants in general are very intricate and they require a lot of regular maintenance, local repairs, good replacement facilities, and also small components that are usually not readily available. So this, in addition with the lack of local capacity to design components and the lack of specialists to conduct studies, will cause downtimes to be extended and cause more delays, which by extension will reduce any amount of revenue that will be obtained by the companies. The fourth challenge is the problems in income from rural communities. So the sites that they usually choose to build hydroelectric power plants are usually located in rural areas, and these rural areas are usually occupied by rural communities. These people lack the disposable income to afford for these services that the power plant will provide them with. The last challenge is limited awareness. There is still limited awareness among Malaysian citizens regarding the use of hydroelectric as an alternative or renewable energy source. To combat this, more and non-government organizations or NGOs have to be actively engaging in promotional content to the public so that we can raise more awareness regarding hydroelectric or any other renewable energy source in general.
I will be explain the advantages and disadvantages of hydroelectric energy. First and foremost, for the advantages, hydroelectric energy is a renewable energy due to the fact that it is powered by water. Water is a resource that can replenish naturally and does not emit any pollutants. These two factors are the factors that determining hydroelectric energy as a renewable energy. Next, hydroelectric power plant uses water as their resource, and water is a reliable resource due to its predictability. It is crucial to acknowledge the water flow of a certain place before building a power plant at that location. This is because water flow is the main factor in producing energy because it determines the capacity of power that will be generated at that location. And lastly, for the advantages, hydroelectric energy is emission free. Producing power in hydroelectric power plant will not emit any pollutants or greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases is one of the main concerns in producing power in power plants. Next, we will move to the disadvantages. For hydroelectric power plant, it is expensive and having a large footprint. Building a dam for a hydroelectric power plant will cost a fortune. Hydroelectric power plant could cost up to $580 per kilowatt, and they usually operate at the capacity of 10 megawatt to 30 megawatt. This will total up into millions of dollars to fully build and operate this power plant. And lastly, for the disadvantages, this type of energy is susceptible to drought. Hydroelectric power plant not only depending on the water flow to produce energy, but also the availability of the water itself. Drought season will be a hinder for this power plant because it will reduce productivity by vaporizing surrounding water, hence restricting water flow in the power plant itself.
While maintaining the same level as in 2022. So the hydroelectric capacities was gradually increased from 4,070 and 61 megawatt in 2014 to 6,215 megawatt in 2023. According to the available capacity of the power in Malaysia as of 31 December of 2020, a total power capacity of 31,520 megawatts recorded, which included coal, natural gas, hydro, solar, diesel, and biomass. So from the data, the hydroelectric power capacities was contributed 19.2% of total capacity of Malaysia's power capacity. So by referring to the projected generation, the electricity generation from the hydro power in Malaysia is projected to reach 32.03 billion kilowatts per hour in 2024, which an anticipated annual growth of 3.49% from 2024 to 2029. So the TNB, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, operates several hydroelectric schemes in Peninsular Malaysia, including the Sungai Perak, Terengganu, and Cameron Highlands schemes, which a combined generation capacity of 1,911 megawatts, while the Sarawak Energy Berhad operates some significant plants that contribute a lot in Malaysia hydroelectric capacity, like the Bakun 2,400 megawatts, the Murum, which is contributed 944 megawatts, and the Batang AI, which contributed 108 megawatts. So for the future development, one of the hydroelectric power plant project, Balai Hydroelectric project, is currently under construction in Sarawak and is expected to add 1,285 megawatt into Malaysia hydroelectric capacity upon its commissioning, anticipated in 2026. So this is the top 5 hydroelectric power station in Malaysia. As I mentioned just now, the Bakun hydroelectric plant Sarawak, which the capacity is 2,400, and the second is the Murun electric plant in Sarawak, which the capacity is 944, and the next one is Pergau hydroelectric plant Kelantan, which the capacity is 600, and also the Sultan Mahmud power station Terengganu, which the capacity is 400 megawatts, and the last one is the Temenggong power station in Perak, which the capacity is 348 megawatts.
As a conclusion, hydroelectric power plants are sustainable and reliable source of renewable energy. They utilize the natural flow of water to generate electricity, reducing dependence on fossil fuels and minimizing carbon emissions. With proper planning and management, hydroelectric power can provide clean energy, support economic growth, and contribute to a more sustainable future. Thank you.